Ironheart on Disney Plus is a ratings catastrophe. Robert Downey Jr. and others are now in an all-out war with Disney, and Bob Iger's in full damage control mode, lying to fans to please shareholders and corporate profits. With the new release of Ironheart, the tensions between the Avengers and Disney has quickly escalated on a new level where even the show may be officially canceled. So, before getting into the big new bombshell, Ironheart, the Disney Plus series starring Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams, was supposed to be Marvel's next big hit. Riri, the genius inventor from Wakanda Forever, was poised to carry the Iron Man legacy into Phase 5, but the fans are calling it a total disaster. Viewers are slamming Riri's portrayal, saying she's reckless, selfish, and nothing like the inspiring hero they expected. The plot's a mess, described as a jumbled, incoherent slog. The action scenes are weak, with CGI that fans are comparing to a low-budget video game. And that AI twist in the later episodes? Rushed, poorly written, and a complete betrayal of Riri's potential. Ironheart isn't just getting bad reviews, it's a ratings disaster for Marvel Studios and Disney. Sources say viewership is among the lowest for any MCU Disney Plus series, with most people tuning out after just 1 or 2 episodes. Disney execs, including Bob Iger and Marvel's mastermind Kevin Feige, are in full-on panic mode. They're holding emergency meetings, trying to figure out how to stop the bleeding. Even Dominique Thorne, who plays Riri, is reportedly being pulled into damage control, doing extra interviews to defend the show, but the fans aren't buying it, and the backlash is only getting louder. Despite Marvel's best efforts to promote the series with high-profile crossovers and major character introductions, rumors quickly spread that the show might already be facing cancellation, even before the full season aired. This isn't your typical fans didn't like it scenario. We're talking about the record-low viewership, the harsh pre-release reactions, and telling silences from Disney's usually aggressive PR machine. Multiple reports from industry-watching sites like Cosmic Book News suggest that Ironheart has failed to gain meaningful traction with audiences. It reportedly didn't even register on Nielsen's streaming top charts during launch week, a red flag when even underperforming shows like Ms. Marvel or Secret Invasion managed at least a modest debut. Some insiders have gone as far as to call it the worst-rated Marvel project to date, with sources claiming Marvel has quietly shelved all internal talk of a Season 2. Chinaka Hodge, the showrunner, gave a telling interview where she said Season 2 depends entirely on performance, hinting there were no concrete plans in place from the start.
But here's where this gets absolutely wild. Disney and Marvel are dragging Robert Downey Jr. into this mess to save Ironheart. Yes, the man who made the MCU a global phenomenon as Tony Stark is now caught in a PR nightmare. RDJ was roped into doing press tours to hype up Ironheart and Riri Williams as part of his contract to return for Avengers Doomsday. They thought, who better to boost Riri than the original Iron Man? But there's a massive catch. RDJ is reportedly enraged with Disney and Marvel over this. RDJ signed on for Avengers Doomsday, expecting to make a triumphant return to the MCU. But Marvel slipped in a sneaky clause that he had to do press for Ironheart to prop up Riri Williams and the show's image. And get this, Disney and Marvel allegedly promised RDJ that Ironheart would be a ratings smash if he got involved. They sold it as a surefire hit, a way to pass the Iron Man torch to Riri with RDJ's blessing. But when the show tanked, RDJ was left holding the bag, and he is not happy. They reportedly pressured him to release a public statement defending Riri Williams and calling out fans for what they're framing as sexism, misogyny, and anti-DEI backlash against the show. RDJ was like, hell no. He's worried that taking a swing at fans would torch his reputation. I mean, this is the guy who's been the heart of the MCU for over a decade. His fan base is massive, and he knows turning on them could be career suicide. Sources say he's been pushing back hard, refusing to play Marvel's game. And Marvel's not taking his defiance lightly. Disney and Marvel execs, including Iger and Feige, are in heated arguments with RDJ behind closed doors. They're reportedly threatening to freeze parts of his Avengers Doomsday deal. Big money, creative control, maybe even screen time, if he doesn't fall in line with their Ironheart damage control plan. They're even hinting at downplaying his character in the Doomsday marketing if he keeps resisting. Can you imagine trying to sideline Robert Downey Jr., the guy who carried the MCU on his back? That's like trying to bench LeBron in the playoffs. The tension between him and Disney Marvel right now is at an all-time high, and it all seems to have escalated after a controversial quote from Robert Downey Jr. In response to growing backlash over Ironheart, RDJ allegedly stated, "You're a racist if you don't like it," defending Riri Williams as the rightful successor to his Iron Man legacy. While some fans applauded him for standing up against online hate, others saw it as a tone-deaf dismissal of legitimate criticism surrounding the show's writing, production quality, and overall direction. But the real impact wasn't just online. Behind the scenes, that statement reportedly created serious friction, not between RDJ and the audience, but between the actors and Disney itself. Younger cast members and newer MCU leads were caught off guard. To them, RDJ's comment came off less like solidarity and more like a deflection, shifting blame onto the fans while ignoring the creative and structural issues that the studio failed to address. Quietly, a narrative has begun to form. Marvel wants to protect its image and its top legacy actor just threw gasoline on an already burning fire. Many of the actors, particularly those from more recent Disney Plus series, are said to be growing disillusioned. Between being given poorly received scripts, tepid marketing support, and now being dragged into a backlash war they didn't ask for, several insiders suggest the cast is no longer willing to blindly protect the studio's reputation. While RDJ may have spoken with legacy-level authority, it may have unintentionally exposed how fractured the relationship between Marvel Studios and its current talent pool has become. This is no longer just a case of a show underperforming. It's the first public crack in Marvel's once flawless image of cast unity. The Avengers used to move as one. Now, they're not even speaking the same language. And for Disney, a studio already under pressure to cut costs and re-earn audience trust, the timing couldn't be worse. Bob Iger and Kevin Feige reportedly thought RDJ's star power would guarantee Ironheart's success, but when it flopped, they doubled down, pushing him to do more press and even demanding he address the fan backlash directly. RDJ's pushing back because he knows his legacy as Tony Stark is sacred to fans. He doesn't want to be the guy who lectures his audience, especially when he feels Marvel misled him about Ironheart's potential. To talk about even more broken promises, Disney and Marvel sold RDJ on the idea that his press tour would make Ironheart a smash hit, comparing Riri to a better Tony Stark. RDJ went all in, doing talk shows and interviews to show love to Dominique Thorne and hype Riri as the next big MCU hero. But when the ratings tanked, he felt like Disney hung him out to dry. And let's not forget Dominique Thorne. She's caught in the crossfire, doing her best to promote Ironheart while fans tear into the show. She's been asked to do extra interviews, defend Riri's character, and even address the DEI criticism head-on. It's a tough spot for her. Riri was supposed to be her breakout role, but the writing and direction haven't done her justice.
With Dominique, many expected her to toe the company line, deflect, apologize, or do damage control. But instead, she went quiet. And then, she got real. Thorne didn't defend Marvel, she didn't clap back at fans, and she definitely didn't do the usual MCU press tour fluff. In fact, she straight up said, "I don't pay it any mind." Not, "We're proud of what we made," not, "It's about representation," just, she doesn't care. And in this industry, silence speaks volumes. Thorne's subtle shrug isn't just ignoring the hate. It's quietly rebelling against the entire PR machine. If you really think about it, Marvel actors are trained to spin controversy. But Thorne? She's stepping out of the studio's shadow, refusing to carry water for a brand that, frankly, left her show out to dry. She's not promoting, she's not pleading, and she's not panicking. She's disengaging from the corporate noise, from the fans expecting her to justify everything, and from a studio that may be quietly shelving her entire character. And this drama isn't just about Ironheart. The show's failure is raising serious concerns about Marvel's upcoming slate. Fantastic Four is right around the corner, and fans are worried. If Marvel can't nail a character like Riri Williams, who had so much potential, how are they going to handle Reed Richards, Sue Storm, or even Doctor Doom? There's a growing fear that Ironheart's flop could cast a dark cloud over Phase 5 and 6. And with RDJ caught in this PR tug-of-war, it's starting to feel like Marvel's losing touch with the fans who made them who they were. The MCU has been the king of pop culture since Iron Man dropped in 2008. RDJ's Tony Stark was the heart and soul of that success, carrying us through Avengers Endgame's epic climax. But Ironheart's collapse and this RDJ drama are shaking fans' faith. Ironheart's failure isn't just a one-off. It's raising questions about Marvel's ability to introduce new heroes in this post-Endgame era. If they can't make Riri Williams shine, how will they handle the X-Men, Blade, or the Young Avengers? And with Fantastic Four looming, fans are nervous. A bad Ironheart could be a bad omen for the MCU's future, especially if Marvel keeps leaning on RDJ to fix their mistakes instead of addressing the root issues like better writing and bolder creative risks. So where does the MCU go from here? This Ironheart drama, combined with RDJ's rebellion, is a wake-up call for Disney and Marvel to get back to what made the MCU great: heart, stakes, and stories that resonate.